With strong language and flashing tights, you're stuck with me, Lacy Rain, for Slag Race UK, a show powered by more self-doubt than a euthanasia practitioner. On Thursday night, episode 4 exploded onto our screens like a long overdue fart. A fart that viewers and fans of the series inhaled as zestfully as a smoking quitter standing next to a scented candle. Following the decontamination of the bad taste in the workroom, also known as Vinegar Strokes elimination, the Queens prepped themselves for one of the hardest challenges of the season, laughing at Rupaul's jokes. The time had come for the Celebrity Impersonation Challenge, Snatch Game, so naturally all of the Queens scrambled for a chance to play famous homophobes from British and American culture. Bag of Chips and Davina De Campo became conjoined twins as they went head to head to decide which of them would get to be Margaret Thatcher. The Voldemort and Professor Quirrell impersonation continued until Baga eventually pressured Davina out as if she herself was a milk carton in a primary school. The Vivian had more options than a top in a gay bar on student night, and Blue Hydrangea opted for the Beau Selecta School of Aesthetics by giving Mary Berry more humps than a diagnosed camel. I didn't say what the camel was diagnosed with, that's not necessarily a cancer joke. Some Ting Wong couldn't decide between doing David Attenborough and Nigella Lawson, so Blue used her social media influencer power to guide her away from all the cooking related jokes. Apparently they're not just for your dad. So Snatch Game begins with guest stars, copywriting cringement Lorraine Kelly and the cringe who stole Christmas, Stacey Dooley. Julia Child looked like a pre-weight gain Mrs. Brown, and sadly some of her punchlines were comparable to a French crepe, half-baked and flatter than roadkill. Gemma Collins came as Cheryl Hole, who came as Gemma Collins with a deep-rooted fear of doing something that's not, quote, quintessentially Cheryl. So why didn't she do Cheryl Cole? Donald Trump looked like Tigger in a nursing home, but with more hair than both the president and a production of Rapunzel starring Blue Ivy Carter. The Vivian's mimicry was more spot on than Madonna pretending to be a young person. With red eyes and buck teeth, Margaret Thatcher resembled a vole-tax. As a show of goodwill, Davina De Campo gave Baga her outfit, however she mostly resembled a supervisor at a 24-hour Tesco. Baga delivered more classic lines than a drug dealer during the 1950s. Rue McClanahan was less of a golden girl and more of a golden retriever. As one of TV's most beloved comedy characters, Crystal managed to summon all the humour of Awake. Mary Berry proved that the Beau Selecta approach was not just limited to aesthetics, but also extended into method acting, as she irrelevantly screamed about her genitalia more than Piers Morgan in a gender row. Sir David Attenborough's performance definitely left him endangered, as he managed to land as many punchlines as I have every time I was in a fight as a teenager. Out on the main stage, Rupaul was joined by special guest judge, the creme de la cringe, ginger cringe, cringer spice Jerry Halliwell, who seemed about as comfortable on the paddle as your 12-year-old son does, still being forced to use a car seat. And one presenter is projecting more than an opera singer lost at sea. And now it's time for the runway. Let's review what everyone dressed as. Blue Hydrangea came as Zooey Deschanel. Her makeup featured a bigger black hole than Mary Berry allegedly has, and her outfit was more bloodshot than Kerry Katona at 6 AM. Bag of Chips came as a badger in BDS. Her look was more Thunderbird than Barbarella, and her wig was flatter than the fallen arches of my feet. Cheryl Hole came as the section of the factory that produces Fanta. Her outfit had half as many tubes as the London Underground, yet Cheryl still claims twice as many people riding her. And yes, much like the colour scheme of her outfit, that joke was easy. Jet. I'm on a tight schedule. You try writing and filming this through Halloween. Not every joke's a winner, ask Gothy Kendall. Some Ting Wong came as Mariah Carey when she eventually caves and gets the surgery to turn her into Ariana Grande. The back of her leotard fitted in just as well as a vegan at a farmer's market. Davina De Campo came as a competitor from Tough Mudder. Her outfit had more lumps and bumps on it, proving that she is in fact cisgendered. Crystal came as Goldie Hawn, showing more teeth than Ed Gein's living room artwork. Her grinder had more action than, well, some jokes just write themselves. And some jokes are Jerry Halliwell. The Vivian came as Davina De Campo. She was the Clinton to Davina's Marie Antoinette. Similar narratives but minus the execution. The outfits were similar to the point where one presenter is going to repeat a joke and say that the Vivian's lack of a nose was positively Dr. Seuss gendered. Even though Thatcher and Trump can be used to bind encyclopedias as they've become solid drag staples, the Vivienne and Bagga's comedic timing earned them what Kris Jenner looks forward to after a long week: a joint twin. Some Ting's performances Sir David Attenborough put her up for extinction, and she was left to prove her planet worth. And sadly, not even Crystal's Mad Max could detract from the sad sax that was Blanche, and she was also placed in the bottom. The two bottom queens lip-synced to spice up your life, while dressed as mutants in what became a bizarre allegory for the wonders of cosmetic surgery. But in the end, it was some Ting Wong that was sadly asked to sashay away. As always, I want to take a minute to talk about the triumphs of this week's loser. They have created an incredible brand and music career for themselves, not just within the Spice Girls, but as a solo artist as well. And if you don't follow Geri Halliwell on Instagram, well, I'm sure you're not missing much. But I'm very excited to see where she goes from here, and I think that RuPaul's Drag Race is an incredible first step for her on this. Some Ting Wong, on the other hand, leaves the show triumphantly. I think she stayed the exact right amount of time for viewers to get to connect with her without becoming irritated. She has some great classic moments in the show, and I think she really represented herself well. I'll put a link to all of Some Ting Wong's social media below. Make sure you follow her on Instagram, but more interestingly than that, you should check out her YouTube page, which she launched this week with, yes, you've guessed it, a music video. However, this one is actually very good, and not just good for a drag queen. Like, this is in the charts very good. You should actually watch this one. The single's called Crossfire. I don't know who produced it, but she sounds great. It's an earworm. Get it downloaded. I can't wait to see her blossom and grow, and I hope she gets many opportunities that come to her door as a result of her time on Drag Race. I sound so patronising, but I genuinely mean it. It's just good to see other artists getting a platform like this, and I think she made the most of hers. Oh wow, look at the time! I guess that wraps things up for today. Remember, this is just for fun. Well, your fun and my scheduling conflicts, because apparently I have more than 1 gig a month. Anyways, let's keep things positive. What were your favourite moments from the show, and who would you do for Snatch Game now that Bag of Chips has definitely put 90% of you back to the drawing board? Let me know in the comments, and remember to like and subscribe. My name's Lacy Rain, you've been watching Slag Race UK. Have a pleasant day, and remember your positive affirmations. You was kind, you was good, you was abortion. Good dusk! This is me. Continuity my arse.